We, the defense and security forces, have decided to put an end to the regime you know. This follows the continuing deterioration of the security situation and poor economic and social governance. We want to reassure the national and international community that the physical and moral integrity of the authorities will be respected in accordance with the principle of human rights. All of the country's institutions are suspended as of now until further notice.
Africa analyst Jonathan Ofei-Ansah joins me from London, and he's the founder of Africa Briefing magazine. Jonathan, always good to speak to you on the News Hour. As we go through that list of coups that have taken place in West Africa, why have there been so many in just 5 years?
Well, the reasons are, I could drill down the reasons to two. Well, in the case of Guinea, the former president Alpha Conde tried to usurp the constitution and go for an extra third term instead of the constitutional mandated 2 terms. That created, a lot of rift in the country, and there were massive protests, that resulted in about 16 or more fatalities. Again, there was corruption, within government, official circles. So that actually prompted the coup by Kenneth Doumbouya. You talk about Mali and Burkina Faso, they give their reasons for the coup as the two previous governments' inability to quell, the jihadist insurgency, to take control of the security situation. So, in a nutshell, these are the reasons, for the recent spate of coups in the Sahel region.
And Jonathan, security, of course, as you mentioned, seems to be a big issue there. Niger has been important in the fight against terrorism in the region and quite a key ally for the West. The US has said that the president still has their full support. What influence does Washington hold in Niger?
Well, if the coup is not successful, I'm not sure Washington or France, the former colonial power, nor even Germany, any Western country, will have any influence whatsoever. The coup is done. The soldiers are going to assume full control of the country now. So there isn't much the Western countries, especially the US, can do unless, they sort of mount, an attack on the country, and that is something that is highly, highly unlikely. So, I mean, there isn't much they can do. All they can do is to impose sanctions. Like you talk about the case of Guinea and Mali. The regional body, ECOWAS, imposed sanctions, on Mali and Guinea, pending, some roadmap that is set for the two countries to meet. I mean, Mali's the sanctions against Mali, were lifted not long ago. So there isn't much any foreign power can do once the coup, has been successful.
So if foreign powers can't do anything, what about regional powers like ECOWAS? You mentioned there that they'd imposed sanctions on Mali, which have now been lifted. What role do they play at this point?
Well, all they have to do is to make the usual noises, to condemn the coup. And again, I'm sure they will meet, the heads of state of ECOWAS would meet like they did in the case of Guinea and Burkina Faso, and maybe try to impose sanctions on the country. But like I said, the coup is done, the soldiers are in office, But anything that will take the current dynamics will come from within.
Okay, Jonathan Ofei-Ansah speaking to us there from London. Thanks as always for your analysis, Jonathan.